जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय श्री राधा माधवाष्ट सखी वृंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय। श्री प्रह्लाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 14, Text 11. Sorry, 10. Paśya utpātān nara-vyāghra divyān bhaumān sa-daihikān dāruṇān śaṁsataḥ adūrāt bhayam naha buddhi-mohanam paśyotpātān nara-vyāghra divyān bhaumān sa-daihikān dāruṇān śaṁsato dūrād bhayam no buddhi-mohanam, paśyotpātān nara-vyāghra, divyān bhaumān sa-daihikān, dāruṇān śaṁsato dūrād, bhayam no buddhi-mohanam, paśyotpātān nara-vyāghra, divyān bhaumān sa-daihikān, dāruṇān śaṁsato dūrād, bhayam no buddhi-mohanam. Mataji? dūrād. Paśya, just see. Utpātān, disturbances. Nara-vyāghra, O man of tiger-like strength. Divyān, happenings in the sky or by planetary influence. Bhaumān, happening on the earth. Sa-daihikān, happenings of the body and the mind. Dāruṇān, awfully dangerous. śaṁsataḥ, indicating. Adūrāt, in the near future. Bhayam, danger. Naha, our. Buddhi, intelligence. Mohanam, deluding. Translation: just see, O man with tiger's strength, how many miseries due to celestial influences, earthly reactions, and bodily pains, all very dangerous in themselves, are forbidding. Dangers in the near future by deluding our intelligence. Purport: material advancement of civilization means advancement of the reactions of the threefold miseries due to celestial influence. Earthly reactions and bodily or mental pains. By the celestial influence of the stars, there are many calamities like excessive heat, cold, rains or no rains, and the after effects of famine, disease and epidemic. The aggregate result is agony of the body and the mind. Man-made material science cannot do anything to counteract these threefold miseries. They are all punishments from the superior energy of Maya under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, our constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of human duties. The Asuras, however, who do not believe in the existence of God, make their own plans to counteract all these threefold miseries, and so they meet with failures every time. The Bhagavad-Gītā 7.4 clearly states that the reaction of material energy is never to be conquered. Because of the binding effects of the three modes, they can simply be overcome by one who surrenders fully in devotion under the lotus feet of the Lord. Om Ajnānatimirandhasya Jnānāñjana-śalākaya Chakṣuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So here we are at a stage where Maharaj Yudhishthira is talking to Bhimsen about the happenings in the material world. He said the celestial planets are not right, the happenings in the material world is not right, the body and the mind is agitated, there is something wrong. Right? Because previously he was mentioning that he has sent Arjuna to meet Krishna and the residents of Dwaraka and find out what's Krishna's plans. It's been 36 years after the battle of Kurukshetra. What are we supposed to do? What are your plans? So, things are messy. Why is it like that? Because Krishna has left. And Maharaj Yudhishthira understands that most probably this is the time when we are supposed to conclude our activities in the material world. Srila Prabhupada also mentions that all these different kinds of material miseries, it happens because there are asuric people, jivas, taking birth. Yeah. When Hiranyakashipu took birth, there was a serious mess in the universe. Right? There was earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, tsunamis coming, serious mess. Right? So we knew something is wrong. Hiranyakashipu has taken birth. And then Prahlad Maharaj takes birth. And they see the cold breezes going, everything is more peaceful, the stars are in a very nice positions. So everything is nice, everything is good. The universe is happy when a great devotee is born. Right? So, Srila Prabhupada mentions material advancement of civilization means advancement of the reactions of the threefold miseries due to celestial influence. We always think, we have such problems, let us try to counteract it with this particular way. We'll do things in a different way. If that doesn't work out, try another way. If that doesn't work out, try another way. If that doesn't work out, try another way. And it's like a non-stop cycle of what we are supposed to be doing. But Srila Prabhupada, towards the end of the purport, it mentions the asuras, they do not believe in the existence of God and make their own plans to counteract. If you're having a problem, the best thing to do is surrender to Krishna. Oh Krishna, we are in a problem, help us out. And Krishna knows whatever is the best for us. What would be the most appropriate for us to be through. If we are supposed to suffer, we will suffer. If we are not supposed to suffer, we will not suffer. Just surrender. And in that situation, you can be very, very peaceful. But if you are constantly thinking, oh, these plans are not working and I don't want to surrender to Krishna, then I'm going to think of different ways of what am I supposed to do. And in that way, then you're constantly in anxiety. Oh, this is not working, let me try another way. Oh, that is not working, let me try another way. And just don't know what to do, and it just total freak out. And that's what most of the people go through. Their life is not peaceful. They are constantly under mental agitation. Their relationships suffer because of that. Their work suffer because of that. And then they are thinking, why everything is coming to me? Why everything wrong is happening to me? It's simple, you did not surrender. Because if you would have surrendered, it's not your problem anymore. It's Krishna's problem. And when it is his problem, then you don't have to worry, he will take care. Right? Draupadi is there being disrobed by the Shasana, and she tried to hold on. And when she figured out that she can't, she put both her hands up. She says, Krishna, I am yours. Do whatever you want to do with me. And Krishna is supplying with so many saris. Mahabharata describes it's like all varieties of colors and designs and shades. And it was so much that it created such a big pile that Dushasana, having a strength of 10,000 elephants, fainted. He fainted. He didn't know what to do. And he's like, tired. Just pulling saris. Sorry? Yeah. He's fainted. Generally when women go for shopping into a sari mall, they remove so many. Show me this, show me that. And the man who's doing it, he removes it. Oh, I don't like any of them. And they'll go. No problem, come again when you're like, and then he folds them and puts them back. And he does that every day, and he probably does 200-300 saris a day. And he's okay. So you can just imagine the Shasana, one of the Maharathis. Maharathis mean he can fight off 60,000 soldiers single-handedly. He fainted. Why? Because Draupadi just surrendered. If she wouldn't, how much time does it take, for a warrior like Dushasana to disrobe a girl? Not much. But she surrendered. Srila Prabhupada says, then, all these different natural calamities happen, and then we suffer with different kinds of disease. So we are suffering one now. This is the third year going on. What to be done? Just surrender. Oh, we are worried we will die. That will happen anyway. If we don't die by, our pandemic, then we will die with something else. It's not eternal anyway. So why to worry? Why to worry about something that is going to happen? It may happen either today or tomorrow. But the difficulty is attachment. We are attached to different things, to different places, different people, different activities, and that's why we don't want to leave. And the same thing happens with our anarthas. Right? We are chanting our japa, we are chanting. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and then still devotees complain, oh, I'm not, I can't feel peaceful. Why? Because when we are chanting, different anarthas do show up. Look, I'm here. And you are, with chanting, you're trying to kick me out of your heart. Think about it. I have lived with you for many, many lifetimes. Do you want me to go? Either we are like, get out. I don't want anarthas in my life. Or we are like, no, no, no. You have been with me for so long. We are good friends. Stay. And then, okay, thank you very much. And he stays. Right? Because there is attachment to a particular thing. We have an identity. And Srila Prabhupada again and again explains this. We have our false identities. I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm this, I'm rich, I'm poor. But we have our identities, which we are attached to. And in no circumstance do we want to give up that identity. So it doesn't matter how much we try, if we don't want to leave those anarthas, then they will stay with us. And it's not that the Mahamantra is not working. Mahamantra is saying, let it go out, let it go out. But no, please, I like this anartha. So Krishna doesn't interfere in our independence. He says, let it be there. When you are ready to give it up, then you can give it up. So all these kind of things, Srila Prabhupada says, the constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. Just do what you are supposed to do. And just keep on performing devotional service. When you perform devotional service continuously, you're very, very peaceful. Sometimes it happens, right? It happens in our lives. We are being pulled in all different directions and don't know what to do. Don't know, complete no idea. Tried varieties of things. And we are getting more and more entangled. Like sometimes we see, like when we are walking in the garden, this big spider web. Right? Why he makes it so big? Because he can get more food. Flies will get stuck in it. And then he will go and, eat. But when the fly gets stuck, what it does, it starts moving around, trying different ways. And the more it moves, the more entangled it's getting in the web. And then Mr. Spider comes and enjoys the meal. It's the same thing happens with us. We always try different things. But the moment we say, okay, Krishna, I surrender, it gets solved in such a beautiful way. And we're like, oh, that was easy. And I did not have to do too much. And sometimes, we are thinking for days of how to get out of this kind of situation or how to solve this difficulty. And for days we are like, oh, can't get it. And then it's like, okay, Krishna, do what you want. And then somebody comes in and says, hey, would you like to go for a walk? And it's done. It's sometimes very, very simple. But what we require to do is surrender. And that's what Srila Prabhupada says. This constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. It's a very, very important statement. Yeah. Also says, man-made material science cannot do anything to counteract these material threefold miseries of the material world. It cannot. Srila Prabhupada in a different place it says, how can it? Your senses are limited. You can only do a certain amount of things. Krishna is unlimited. He can do multiple things at a time. So let him do. Let him take care. And you be peaceful. And that happens with every devotee in their lives. And there is a beautiful story of a girl, like 500 years ago. Her name was Janabai. Very, very devotional she used to worship Lord Vitthala in Pandharpur, Maharashtra. And Krishna, Vittalnath, he was so attached to this girl, and he would come every night to help her do household duties. And while she's doing household duties, like she will be sweeping, so Krishna will wipe behind her. She's washing clothes and Krishna starts helping her with washing clothes. She's grinding grains. You would get these two stones and you would have to, spin them around to grind, make a flour out of the grain. And Krishna would help her do that. And Krishna would get so engrossed that when she is doing it, she would be she would be singing, that Krishna is my father. And Krishna repeats after her, Krishna is my father, he's grinding the grains. And then she says, and Rukmini is my mother. And Krishna goes, and Rukmini is my mother. He just starts following her. He's so engrossed, he completely forgot who he is. Right? And doing like that, one day he forgot his shawl and his ruby necklace in the house of Janabai. And then it was time for Mangala Arati, so he ran, he grabbed one chadar. Unfortunately, it was Janabai's chadar. And went, covered himself and stood there, in his pose as a Vitthala. He stood there. Pujari opens the door, what is this? Last night I offered a beautiful shawl and a ruby necklace which is missing. And this disgusting, dirty woolen shawl is on the Lord. Where did this come from? And what happened to the nice shawl and the ruby necklace? And somebody identified, oh, that's Janabai's. So, okay, the whole temple authorities and all the pujaris and everybody's in her house and like, what's going on? You stole, is this your shawl? Like, yeah, it is. So, where is the deity's shawl? I don't know. And oh, you are a thief. And while, she's trying to counter, no, I am not. And then when one time, one of the pujaris goes inside and yeah, that's hanging. The deity's shawl and the ruby necklace. Why you claim that you're not a thief? He says, look, Krishna comes here every night and he spends time here. Yeah, sure. Krishna comes here every night to spend time. The case went up to the king. The king said, hang her in public. Right? So they made all the arrangement. And then she's been taken from her house up to this place where she's going to be hanged. And people are spitting on her, using abusive words, throwing stones on her. And she's now standing in front of the rope. And the man who is about to hang her tells her, meditate on the person whom you have full faith. And ask him to save you because nobody else can. And she says, Krishna, if you so desire, protect me. Then immediately Vittalnath appears as Narayana, four-hand forms, and embraces her in public. Yeah. And he tells, and everybody's watching. It's like, whoa, what is this? Krishna himself appeared and embracing. And he says, she is a pure devotee of mine. I performed this pastime so all of you can know how great of a devotee she is. Oh, okay. And everybody started to respect her, worship her. The news went all the way from Maharashtra to Kashi. And there was this sadhu living over there. And he said, okay, I need to go and take darshan of this girl. So he comes all the way, walking from Kashi. He comes to Pandharpur. He says, where is Janabai living? You see that those two women fighting over there, using abusive words to each other. So that girl is Janabai. Serious? I walked all the way from Kashi to here, about like 1200 kilometers, to see the girl, some great devotee whom Krishna had embraced, and she's here using dirty, like abusive language, to another girl. What is this? So he's telling, I heard of you as a great devotee. Why are you fighting like this? And she said, she stole my cow dung paddy. And like, for cow dung paddy, you are, using such words? How can you prove that they are your cow dung paddy? And she said, Pick up any of those paddy, touch it to your ears. If that word says Jai Vithala, that's mine. If it doesn't, it's not. He picked it up, touched it to his ear. The cow dung paddy is saying Jai Vithala. Paid obeisances. It's like such a great devotee. Right? Why? Total surrender. Draupadi, total surrender. How to say? Durvasa Muni comes with 10,000 disciples. After they have, Draupadi has eaten, no problem. Krishna will take care. Any problem? No problem. Krishna will take care. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's going to happen his way anyway. So why to worry too much? Just, as Srila Prabhupada says, chant and be happy. And let Krishna take care of the rest of the things. He will do it anyway. So there is absolutely no need for us to be in anxiety. So, no requirement of material advancement in the civilizations, and just be happy. Be satisfied with whatever Krishna provides. There was once it happened. It was Gaur Purnima, about 8 years ago. And then I was doing service here, and it was quite late. It was like around. For us, Gurukul boys, we go to sleep at 7, so it was around 8:30. It's quite late. And then I was quite hungry. I was like, Krishna, if there is some possibility to take prasad. I had no money. I just came from, I was going back to Gurukul. So I'm very hungry. Is there some possibility to take prasad? So there is nothing there. But there was a Gauranga market over here. So I thought I would just walk by, all the shops. Maybe somebody will say, "Oh, Prabhu, would you like to take some prasad?" And somebody, I can get some prasad like that. So I walked around. Nobody said anything. I said, maybe let me do one more try. So I went around again. There was absolutely nothing. Nobody said. Generally people call, but today they didn't. And I was like, oh, Krishna, what to do? Forget it. Then I started walking, this road, and then going, and I said, Krishna, once I enter this door, on the Gurukul gate, I'm not getting any prasadam because there is nothing in Gurukul there. And to cook anything, it's a big hassle. You light the cow dung on fire, then it can't, it's a hassle, so you can't. Krishna, please do something, I'm entering this gate. Okay, nothing. I entered the gate, forget it. It's not going to happen. Walked a little bit ahead. And that time there was another pandal over there, the Anior restaurant. And somebody shouted for them, "Hey, khichdi prasad, anybody wants khichdi prasad?" I ran back. There is not, they said, "Prabhu, can I have something?" With all varieties of sabji and paneer, and they said, "Would you like some ghee on top?" Yes, sure, Such a nice experience, like forget it, I'm not going to get anything. From there to nice hot paneer khichdi prasad, why? That time I was like, yes, I made my endeavor, went around twice around the shop, nothing happened, but then we said, okay, we surrender to Krishna and let him take care. So we got nice khichdi prasadam over there, and it happened every time. My teachers in Gurukul, they would harass, oh, you have to do service in the temple during the Rajbhog offering times. Somehow it always happened like that, never planned. But then we would come, you hear the conch bolo, and they're like, oh, what's the time? Oh, it's 12 o'clock, what a coincidence, I'm here. Go up, some prasadam, yeah, take something, always there. So that was my many times realization that you surrender to Krishna, and you will always get your way out of the situation. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Yes, Prabhu. You can just ask, Prabhuji. Yeah, Mahabharata says. Gandhari, she's cursing. So it's just, when Krishna went after the end of Kurukshetra, when Duryodhana died, Lord Krishna, he went to see Gandhari. And Gandhari, he says, I'm sorry, you lost all your 100 sons. Yeah, so she tells Krishna, says, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you wanted, you could have saved all my sons. This war would not have happened. You could have stopped it. And Krishna says, yes, I could have. Yeah, so why you didn't? It's like, obviously, I'm here to eliminate the miscreants and to protect the devotees. So I had to do this. He collected 11 akshauhini. 1 akshauhini is about like 2 lakhs or something. 1 lakh infantry, so the soldiers, and 16,000 horses, and 16,000 camels, and 12,000 elephants, and like that, almost like 2 lakhs people. And he said he collected 11 of them. So all of them, siding with the, had to wipe them out. Easy way to, get things done. And that time Gandhari, she says, 36 years from now on, your family will be destroyed just like mine is destroyed. And Krishna was like, thank you, I was wondering how to take them back. Because Bhagavatam mentions, they were so, proud because of Krishna and Balaram. They were undefeatable, unbeatable. They were like extremely powerful, and they would walk around as if they were, like maddened elephants. The Yadavas, they were so powerful, nobody could defeat them. And so Krishna was wondering how to take these people out. So then when Gandhari said, she curses, after 36 years, your family will be destroyed. And Krishna was like, yeah, that's a good way to take them out. So Mahabharata mentions that. Yes, Mataji. How much to endeavor before surrender? Do your best, but don't expect. Just do whatever is required to be done, and don't expect, just leave the results up to Krishna. And then that's easy way. Is that okay, Mataji? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu quoting. Prabhu, in the last teachings of Bhagavad-Gītā, instruct that one should give up all the modes of religious activities and accept me. That is the last Bhagavad-Gītā. Suppose when the religious activities also indicate the summum born of transcendental knowledge, how we give up and what is the actual path helps to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Okay. So, being spiritual is higher than being just religious. Like somebody's thirsty, you give them water, that's religious, that's pious. Like somebody is hungry, you feed them, that's religious. But to be spiritual, that is different. That's surrender to Krishna. That's why Krishna says, give up all religious activities. Right? That because religion is morality. So you have to step beyond morality. You have to be spiritual. So when you are spiritual, then you can, actually even spiritual is considered material. You have to be transcendental. Because spiritual can take you up to heavenly planets. If you want to go out of the material world, you have to be transcendental. Then that's bhakti. So you do something beyond religious, you do bhakti, then you can go back to Godhead.
So how the bhakti arises, Prabhu, until unless we are having some knowledge about the transcendental knowledge and all those things. Here one more thing also what I observed, the Puranas and what we call Mahabharata and everything is just before the Bhagavatam. In fact, the Puranas and the Bhagavatam, everything is in historical facts only. But where there is no Lord Krishna is central. So because that point is lacking, So Narada Muni advised the Vyasadeva just to write it Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told it's Amala Puranam, spotless Puranam. So if that is the case, shall we go through the Puranas and Itihasas and everything also? Is it necessary?
No. It's not necessary to go through the Puranas and Itihasas. Why would you do that? But there are people in different modes of material nature. They want to hear different stories, right? They want to hear different examples, different methods. So when they are in those methods, following those stories, then they attract them. So we got 18 main Puranas. 6 of them are sattvic, 6 of them are rajasic, 6 of them are tamasic. And so then they will tell you, from tamoguna you read those tamasic Puranas, then it uplifts you to rajas. You read the rajasic Puranas, it uplifts you to sattva. And when you are in sattva guna, and then you get attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And then you study Bhagavatam and you go. But let's say, you are already attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam, you don't need anything else. So you perform bhakti, and other things, being spiritual, being religious, it all helps in being devotional. So when you are devotional, you go back to Godhead. Just by being religious, and you don't go back to Godhead. If you want to go back to Godhead, you have to be devotional. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Prabhu, like when you are mentioning total surrender, you mentioned two things, that surrender, like there is no anxiety, like just depend upon Krishna. You mentioned one thing. And so in this regard, I am asking, like, does surrender means like basically not taking, what is the difference between total surrender and escaping from responsibility or escaping from anxiety? Because we see many times Mother Yashoda purchase anxiety for Krishna. And similarly, this is the one side of the question. The other side of the question is that what is the difference between total surrender and depression? Like for example, like if we see in the case of the Dhruv Maharaj, was told to tolerate, but his nature was Kshatriya, so Narad Muni guided him accordingly. So would you please throw some light on this? Thank you.
Yeah. So, like the story of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Narad Muni told him, go home. Dhruva Maharaj says, if you can help me, otherwise leave me alone. He had no idea what to do. But then, seeing Dhruva means fixed, seeing his determination, Narad Muni said, okay, I'll help you. So then he helped. He said, chant the holy name. And he showed him how to. Now Dhruva Maharaj, in the back of his mind, he had that I need to take revenge. Forget my father's lap, forget his throne. I want the kingdom bigger than my grandfather. That's Lord Brahma. He says, I want a kingdom bigger than his. 5-year-old kid. But so how can you get that? So Narada Muni said, approach Krishna. But at that time, in the back of his mind, he's having this, this revenge mentality. But he knows, to get revenge, I have to fully surrender. So he does. He fully surrenders. And when he gets Krishna, then he says, Kachan vichinman abhidivyaratnam. I was running behind broken pieces of glasses. I found real diamond. I don't need anything else. And then Krishna said, no, you will get. You will enjoy the material world for 36,000 years, and then you will, come back to, then you will have your own planet, the Dhruva Loka, which is, even though within the universe, it's bigger than the universe. Because that's what he wanted. And it's part of Vaikuntha. Krishna resides with Dhruva Maharaj over there. And Dhruva Maharaj, when his mother died, when the stepmother, when she died, he's regretting. Dhruva Maharaj was not happy that he approached Krishna for such a thing. It was like, this is disgusting. How can I even do this? How can I approach the Lord asking for such a material thing? But when he wanted the material thing, he just wanted it. I just must have it. And when he got it, he's like, this is gross. He regretted. So, total surrender means as we told Mataji, that you do and not being, lack of being responsible. Srila Prabhupada, he tried for many years in Jhansi preaching. Right? He did. He was not successful. Then, then he's thinking of how can I make different people, accept Krishna consciousness. So he says America is the place the whole world is following. So then he went to America. But what does he write in his diary? I'm going to an unknown land among unknown people. Make me dance the way how you want. So he's trying. His guru has given him an instruction. So he's going forward, to fulfill, to obey the instructions of his guru. I'm going to try, but my Lord, it's up to you. So do what you're supposed to do. That's what Srila Prabhupada, he says here. Therefore, our constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. So we keep on doing our human duties. We perform our devotional service and leave it up to Krishna, for what he wants to happen. And we don't worry about things. Just leave it up to him. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we'll end here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.
Satyam vadishyami.